And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to The Drive here on Maine Sports Leader 92.9 The Ticket. Great to have you with us here on this Thursday afternoon. Jim Churchill and Mark Paulette in the Greenway Equipment Studios. Brought to you by Greenway Equipment Sales, your locally owned John Deere dealer. See the Smith brothers in Bangor and Ellsworth because nothing runs like a Deere. We're presented by Next Home Experience, the market leader. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience. No Red Sox baseball tonight here on The Ticket. Sox are off. They are in New York right now preparing for the upcoming 4-game series this weekend against the Yankees. We'll see how that goes for the Red Sox after they fall 4-0. Kind of a flat ending to the trip to Miami.
It was a getaway night, kind of a night. You had the reserves in the lineup. You were giving some guys like Contreras a rest. And, well, that's the thing. You had the couple of non-reserves getting a rest last night, and people were swinging like it was a Thursday afternoon that they were trying to get away to the Bronx because they were jumping on a plane and getting to New York after that game last night. Of course, they had today off, but probably got in around 3, 4 a.m.
So instead of baseball tonight here on The Ticket, we have our first football game of many.
Oh, I could not be more excited.
I would say definitely dozens. I'd have to have more time to do the calculations, but a lot of football games between UMaine football, which is what we have tonight here on The Ticket. We'll have other college football. That starts in September. We got a couple of great games coming up in September on Saturday nights at the FBS level, and of course we'll have all kinds of NFL on Monday, Thursday, Sunday,
later
Saturday, Friday.
Yeah. They'll start mixing it up later in the calendar.
And of course the Patriots on our sister station I-95.7 on your FM dial. So we're going to talk a lot of football in today's show at least a couple of levels, probably 3, but we're going to start our show with a great leadoff hitter.
Not bad at all.
Jude Killy.
He knows how to put the ball in play.
Got some wheels.
Set the table.
He'll have those New Balances on.
Oh, yeah.
Jude Killy, UMaine Athletic Director, will join us here in a matter of moments. Towards the end of this first hour, we go back to our Ticket Two-A-Days, and we talk with Jack Hersom, Bangor football coach. You're number 1 for Jack. He's been a long-time assistant.
14 years. He was actually...
Really? That long? I was thinking 10.
His first year, I want to say, was my junior year there because he was my position coach for a couple of years at the end of my time in high school. So I don't know many first-year coaches that go in with more of just like a base of knowledge and experience than 14 years on the sideline.
With the same program.
Plus the coaching tree that he comes from with his father now on the sidelines with him.
No doubt. So Jack Hersom in the Ticket Two-A-Day today. We'll be back with the Two-A-Days next week, and we'll take you right up to the season opener on Ticket TV. That's going to happen on Thursday. A week from today, we'll be at Orono High School as the Old Town Coyotes take on the Orono Red Riots in 8-man football. Old Town dropping down to 8-man this season, so they'll be taking on their rivals at Orono High School. Again, that game will be at 7 o'clock. We'll have the pregame show at 6:30 on Ticket TV, and the following night we'll have Foxcroft Academy taking on the Herman Hawks, also on Ticket TV. That'll start a heavy slate of football and soccer, boys and girls, coming up this fall at 929theticket.com and on your Ticket app. Also in today's show, we're going to go down to Maryland and check in with Rich Kimball and Bob Lucy. We'll chat with them for a bit as they head on into the pregame show. We'll get the latest on the Black Bears heading into this matchup against the conference foe, the Towson Tigers, and we'll see how the Black Bears fare in that one coming up tonight. Really excited about it, and I know another guy who's really excited about it is UMaine Athletic Director Jude Killy. He joins us on the Heroes Hotline. So, Coach, opening days are great. You've been through many of them. You've enjoyed them. Some have gone well for your home team. Some have not gone well for your home team. But just tell us about the vibe that you're feeling down there in Maryland.
Great vibe, as you would expect. You know, heading into game 1, the guys have been working extraordinarily hard, and I think they're ready to play somebody else for a change. So, yeah, feeling really good about the matchup and excited to get the season underway.
Now, Maryland weather can always be a little sketchy going into the summer and coming out of the summer. And last I heard from down there, some lightning in the area. How are things looking as we head toward a kickoff in hopefully 2 hours from now?
Yeah, you know, it's a little touch and go right now. So I think, you know, part of the issue is just kind of monitoring it minute by minute. And obviously safety is the first and foremost priority for everybody involved, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, we'd love to take the field sooner rather than later, and Ticket 6 is playing.
The game at Johnny Unitas Stadium in Towson, Maryland, holds about 11,000 fans there. Kickoff at 6 p.m. Towson, the preseason number 6 pick in the conference. Black Bears number 7 series record. Towson Maine leads it by a 7-6 mark. Some momentum coming off last season. Very interesting season last year, Jude. Obviously, the tough start, some very tough losses. Disappointing loss at home to Stonehill, but the Black Bears really rebounded, and we talked about it with you and Coach Stevens about that turnaround where they won 6 straight, put themselves in the postseason picture before dropping the final 2 to ranked teams. But you talked about the vibe. There's got to be some momentum coming from that season, the way it finished up in the second half.
I think there is, and I think part of it comes from something the guys are pretty grounded in, which is just, process over outcome. Process over outcome. So, if you do the right things the right way, the right results will come. And so I think that's part of the mentality that's carried over to this year. And I talked to the team earlier in the week, and one of the things I shared with them is, great teams have great cultures. And I think this team's got a great culture. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to be great if you have a great culture, but if you don't have a great culture, you will not. And so I think, the foundation is there certainly from last year and some of the momentum we had, and, process over outcome and the culture piece are there. And I think they're ready to embrace that and run straight into this year with it.
Like Jim mentioned, not only the season opener tonight, but also the opener of the conference slate for the Black Bears at Towson. These two teams picked right in the middle of the conference, 6th and 7th respectively. How do you feel about the state of the conference, Jude? There's been a lot of changes in recent years, football specifically, teams going out, new teams coming in. How do you feel as to where the CAA is standing as we enter 2026?
Yeah, we feel good. I mean, it's nice to have a little stability. I mean, the addition of Sacred Heart, I think, is a really good addition for us, in the North. That'll reduce our travel at least every other year, which is certainly helpful. And it's less really about, the playing on the road, less about the expenses. But there is a toll to that over time for everybody. So I think, a little bit more balance than the northern side of the league. So we're really, we're thrilled to have them as a member. And also too, who knows in this day and age with the landscaping college athletics, what else might happen, in football or any other league, for that matter. But I think we're all looking at this as having some stability here for the next couple of years, hopefully.
And Jude, soccer has a few games under their belt, but just your outlook, I've got to get up to the campus here in the next week or so and check out the construction progress there for the new arena. But in years past, you've had to focus on this field and that field and this field and 2 or 3 things going at once. How does it feel? And I know you've got more than just that big project going on, but how does it feel to have that list shortened just a little bit?
It feels great. Our staff has done a phenomenal job garnering the resources. Always great thanks to the Harold Alphon Foundation for their tremendous support. Certainly there's a lot of other donors who've been involved and stepped up to support. So Seth Woodcock, and his team out on the road, raising the funding. And then Jason Grunkemeyer, our staff, has really overseen the projects with the facility from a facility standpoint, and doing wonderful work along with Chase Speaks, who's one of our newest associate ADs. So they're doing great work. And, my encouragement to everyone is come check out campus if you haven't. Harold Alphon Way is in. We've got a nice little walkway that goes by the stadium, that cuts behind baseball and soccer and track and field hockey. And, it's going to be an unbelievable setup when it's all done. It's still a work in progress, but it looks pretty darn good right now.
Every week at the major college football level seems to bring new wild headlines with it. This week, no different, where you have guys leaving NFL training camps, heading back to Power 4, I guess it is at this point, schools, and the SEC, the Big Ten, releasing statements about that, not wanting to be a part of their conference. Jordan Stevens was on the Morning Roast on Monday and actually said that his football office has fielded some inquiries of guys in that very situation. How is Maine going about handling that? Is there any set plan, or is it kind of a situation-to-situation thing?
Yeah, I think it's pretty simple, pretty clear-cut from our perspective. I mean, obviously this is consultation on a larger scale level, but, really from our vantage point, unless and until the NCAA changes its stance on who's eligible and who's not, we're not going to get into a lawsuit with the NCAA. That's not what this is about. We're about developing, and supporting young people and their opportunities, the ones that are here right now, and that's what we're going to do. So that's really where our focus is, and I just don't see there being any additions to our roster in any of our sports that come from a result of a lawsuit that the NCAA is not supportive of for eligibility.
How do you feel, and this is more just like a personal question to you being in that role,
Sure.
how do you feel about the idea, like at the major levels, that a team like LSU might leave, 5 spots open on their roster, and kids now don't have to enroll in classes until like 8 weeks into the September to be able to get around some of that eligibility?
Yeah. Boy, I'm going to bypass that a little bit so I don't get myself in trouble. I always believed and still do believe, that there's a core group that should be our student athlete constituents, and those are the ones that are pursuing an education, and the education is the foundational piece for them. And so I think we have to stay true to that mission as a university, as an industry, as administrators. And so I think anything that detracts from that is not a great use of time.
Jude, I just quickly want to go back to the arena, and maybe you can give everybody out there a little visual here. The last time I was up there, it was probably towards the tail end of June, middle of June, something like that, and the elevator shaft was there. That had been erected, but certainly a lot of steel has been put in place as well, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there certainly has. But thanks for changing the topic, by the way, Jim. Appreciate that.
Get back to the softballs.
Always willing to help, Jude.
No, that's great. But it is exciting.
I can feel your distress. Yes.
No, it's not distress. It's just interesting, right? But no, with the arena, there's been so much that's taken place. I mean, there's 2 elevator shafts that are up now. A good portion of the steel is up, and we expect that steel, by the time people come back for homecoming in October, and by the end of October, all the structural steel should be up.
Wow.
So, I mean, every time you come to campus now, you're going to be seeing, more and more, physically complete. Once the, late October hits, the work won't be done, but you just won't be able to notice it as much day to day. But there'll certainly be pieces, as we get through, October, November, December, as we're going on, these pieces that are coming and growing that building. So we're on time and on budget right now. So, we're looking forward to getting in there for the 27-28 season. It will not be at the start of the season. I can say that much right now, but, hopefully we can squeeze into 2027 a little bit and then play the rest of 28 in there.
Very exciting. And of course, whenever we talk, or I talk about the new arena and where it is to people who haven't been to the campus recently, the first thing that comes up is parking. And parking has been added, I guess, at the north end of Alphonse Stadium by the soccer complex. And they've added a whole new parking lot where an older building once stood, and they've added a lot of spots there too, right?
Yeah, I think the university has done a great job in recognizing that, Morse Arena, certainly, we've taken some parking offline, but parking is an institutional issue. So I think there's been a whole group of people that have tried to approach that and broach that. Right now, I believe, and don't quote me on this, I guess just give me a 2% margin of error, but I think the parking that we had versus what we have now is a wash. I think it's net zero.
Wow.
So really, even with the addition of the building, with what we've added parking-wise, that we're at about the same number of spaces. The good news is that those spaces are newer, the parking lots are repaved or paved, so they maximize the spaces and proximity, to not just our buildings, but not just our athletic venues, but other buildings. And the reality is that we're looking at other ways that we can work, institutionally to find, even more parking. So, but yeah, that's a really good thing. I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised when they come check out campus to see that the enhancements to parking.
Entering year 5 of the Jordan Stevens era, like we were talking about earlier in this conversation, momentum. You had 5 wins, 5-7 a couple of years ago, 6-6 last year, especially after the start to the season that it was. How do you feel just from, you've mentioned consistency a lot in this conversation. It's nice probably to, when a coach is there for a year or two and then goes away, it means that you have success during those year or two of the program, but it's got to be nice to have the consistent, well, yeah, most of the time, or it goes very poorly in the other direction, but just speak to that consistency of having an established leadership group entering the 5th year. Not only that, but it being a main guy and knowing the importance of that program, of that team to Jordan himself.
Yeah. No, I think part of it with him in the spot is, he knows us, he understands us, he's one of us, when I say one of us, obviously I'm coming from the outside looking in, but that's how he's embraced me as part of his program. And I think there's been no program in the country. I shouldn't say that, not Maine Black Bear football, but there's been probably football and men's basketball been the two hardest hit in this new era of college athletics. So I think, that lack of stability has really been, problematic. Certainly, it's been problematic for us, but I think they've done a great job of, they've kind of focused in on what's it mean to be a Maine Black Bear, and, who are we recruiting and why do they want to be here? And I think we do have some stability with that. But I was just talking to a couple colleagues across the country at the FBS level last week, and, they have 30, 40 new guys on their football roster. And, I don't know what our exact number is, but we're probably right around there too. So that high turnover is something that everyone's dealing with, and having consistent leadership with a consistent vision, with consistent values, I think is really, really important.
Well, very exciting times. Opening night for the Maine Black Bear football team as they are taking on Towson tonight. We got the game for you right here on the ticket. Pre-game show coming up at 5:30. And Jude, we'll let you kick back, relax a little bit, enjoy the game tonight. We appreciate you taking some time for us here this afternoon, and bring back a win. That's all we're asking. Bring back a win.
Appreciate that. I'll tell you what, if I get to relax, that'd be wonderful. That'd be a great sign for all of us.
There you go. All right. It'll come someday, Jude. All right. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for having me. All right. Have a great day. All right. Bye-bye.
Jude Killy, Maine Athletic Director, joining us on the Heroes Hotline, brought to you by Heroes Sports Grill and Entertainment Center. Heroes is the place to be in downtown Bangor and at heroesportsgrill.com. And sticking with the Maine football theme, this fall, it's time to pack the stands at Alphon Stadium and cheer on Maine football. Season tickets on sale now, and they will give you the best value and the best seats for every home game. Visit goblackbears.com/tickets. All right, as I mentioned, coming up, more football for you. We got Jack Hersom, Bangor football coach, coming up right around 4:40. Rich Kimball, Bob Lucy, they'll be on the scene tonight and on the call here on the ticket for Maine football against Towson. They're going to join us right around 5:15, and then shortly after that, it'll be Rich and Bob with the Black Bear pregame show right here on the Black Bear Sports Network and Sports Radio 92.9 The Ticket. And Towson last year was 6-6, 4-4 in the CAA. Black Bears 6-6, 5-3 in the CAA. Towson picked number 6 in the preseason poll. Maine picked number 7. Mark, if this is not a close game tonight, I am going to be surprised. Never shocked, but surprised.
Should be, you would think, right in the heart of the conference there. Two teams in the same neighborhood.
All right, we're going to take a break here, and we'll remind you we're also brought to you by Union Street Towing. If you're stuck on the side of the road, they have you covered 24/7 statewide. From breakdowns to lockouts, they'll get you moving fast. Call 942-4200. That's Union Street Towing, driven to be there when you need them the most. Coming up next here on The Drive, we're going to tee up the Red Sox-Yankees series. We'll talk about the roster puzzle that is the Boston Red Sox with some of these return. Now,
a little bit of news on that front.
Really?
A little bit. I'll tease it till next segment.
Yeah.
We'll hang on.
And another guy, which they're going to give a spot to him, is Kiner Falefa. I kind of forgot about him.
Well, he's doing the team a favor. He sat back and said, guys, roster expands in a week. I'm okay staying down here, getting my at-bats and being comfortable. He's being a team player, while Trevor Story, who is whiffing at every pitch that he swings at, says, nah, boys, I just got, we got to reconvene with the boys. We got to talk about it. Get me back in that lineup. We're ready to go.
Because I'm a force.
He's talking about it, dominating and dictating at-bats. He's not dictating a damn thing.
He was a force.
He can barely dictate a sentence.
Coors Field.
Yeah.
6-7 years ago?
Works wonders.
All right, we'll be right back.
It's not that urgent. It's not that horrifying, but I did see it right before we went to the break. We're talking Red Sox and their roster puzzle here. This from Tommy Castle, who covers the Woo Sox down in Worcester. Roman Anthony just said that he and Trevor Story, in parentheses, decided...
driving to New York.
Nope, decided that they wanted to get more at-bats here in AAA Worcester today as opposed to wasting a day traveling to New York. Joining the Red Sox in the Bronx tomorrow is still on the table, but it's a decision that the club will make after today's rehab stint with the Woo Sox. One of those two is ready to rejoin the Red Sox. The other one is telling everyone he is because his play says the opposite.
And that would be, the latter would be Trevor Story, who, as Craig Breslow, first you heard Harold Reynolds talking about the situation with Trevor Story and Roman Anthony on the cusp of coming back to the Red Sox Major League roster. after rehabbing in Worcester and in Portland for Anthony. And things are going so well. And again, I'm not on the bandwagon here with the Red Sox, but if I was, that would concern me because you've got a clubhouse, you've got guys who've been grinding it out together, guys who've been grinding it out their whole career.
Yep.
And they get an opportunity under the spotlight in Boston at Fenway Park and elsewhere, and they have been a main reason for this resurgence, this turnaround, dramatic turnaround here in 2026. And now, with those two guys coming back, that means a couple of guys got to go back down to Worcester.
It does. The one thing that gives me confidence is the Chad Tracy regime has been a meritocracy. So if you deserve to be in the lineup, you're in the lineup. Whereas Alex Cora would always have his favorites. He would have his teacher's pets. He would kind of shuffle things, it seemed anyways, based on that. Chad Tracy, if Mickey Gasper hits a couple of homers, guess what? He's in the lineup the next night over doesn't matter who. Anthony Siegler hits a go-ahead RBI triple in the 9th inning. He's in the lineup the next night. So I think he will handle this from the standpoint of whoever deserves the at-bats.
Is 0 for 11 through 3 games. Now, he's going to get time off there, and this is going to be their thing. So if he does struggle, just say he's 0 for 8 in 2 games, and we already planned.
Oh, he's
always planned on having that third day off.
He's already kind of speaking to that idea
lowering the bar
because of what his numbers are. Trevor Story, it shouldn't be a conversation right now about him rejoining the Red Sox. The only reason it's a conversation is because of the amount of dollars that they're paying him. He is 4 for 29 in his rehab assignment. That's $138. He has 10 strikeouts to 1 walk. He has 0 extra base hits.
4 singles.
Franklin Arias, who they're keeping down there because maybe he'll have the chance to play minor league baseball for like 40 days next year in case there's a lockout, is lighting the world on fire. So if we're promoting guys based on how they're playing baseball, Trevor Story deserves to be nowhere near the Boston Red Sox, at least until he shows that he can figure it out a little more, because this is what's coming out of his mouth while he's producing in that way. Quote, "Overall, feeling really good. I'm on time with the barrel, just a touch off on squaring pitches. It's to be expected. I think more than the results, it's more about how I'm feeling and kind of dictating the at-bat, and I'm in a good spot there. So in the next day or two, hit some barrels and feel good about returning."
There you go. Hit some barrels.
Trevor, again, 4 for 29, 10 strikeouts to 1 walk. What are you dictating?
If you're striking out, you're not just missing barrels.
What are you dictating, dude? Yeah. And the strikeouts are what we were seeing earlier this year, where a AAA pitcher can throw him a fastball up and in, and then just throw a junk slider that almost bounces in the lefty's batter's box.
How many errors did he have before he got hurt? He had a ton of errors.
Oh, Jim, that was all the sports hernia, remember? He had no range. He had no ability to bend over.
That's right. That's right.
Now, here's something that I kind of, it just hit me last night. Now, Mickey Gasper in Ophir, he was our Sox prop of the day, so that one, that was ill-timed. But the way he is swinging it and the continued defensive liability that Connor Wong is, if you watch these games, he's committing 1 to 2 errors.
Last night.
And
Sogard had 2, right?
They're crucial errors, like run-scoring errors to put the opposition back into the ballgame. I don't trust him behind the plate. If there truly is a roster crunch, he doesn't bring this team anything. Mickey Gasper is a catcher. Send him down, option him down, bring up Roman Anthony. There's your workaround.
Why would they do that?
Why not? Go with the hot bat. Go with the people that are producing.
If Chad Tracy is what you say he is, Mark, it's all about meritocracy, then that should happen.
Why not?
It should happen.
It's there for you.
How can you can't send Mickey Gasper down.
Not the way he's hitting.
Despite that 0 for 3 last night. And
Siegler, the thing about him, he's just breaking in now. He was a first-round draft pick by the Yankees back in the day. Mm-hmm. So it's another guy it took him a long time to figure it out, but there's maybe more there than your necessary 4A player. So as long as they're working for you at the major league level, contributing to wins, I don't screw with the situation.
So when Story comes back, could be tomorrow. If he comes back tomorrow, who's he replacing?
That's the tough one.
Sogard?
That's the tough one because then someone does have to go. Probably Siegler, because Sogard he had the couple errors last night, but he's a pro's pro. Like, he's not going to blow you away with anything he does, but he doesn't make a lot of those mistakes. Yeah. You can trust him in spots. You can trust him at any of the positions on the infield. He can play all 4 of them. He hits from both sides of the plate, so that adds a different dynamic. And he's a good on-base guy, like at the top of the lineup. Even when he's not hitting, he's drawing walks, giving you good at-bats. I think he has shown that like he should be IKF next year. He has earned a spot on the 26 as your utility guy going forward.
David Levant will be happy to hear that.
You know, he's producing.
All right. So the Yankees and Red Sox, it's a 4-game series. They'll start tomorrow night with a 7:15 first pitch, pregame show at 6:15 on the Ticket. That game's on Apple TV.
Yep, we are your ticket to it.
Gets people excited. And then you've got a double dip on Saturday. Starts around, I don't have the calendar in front of me, but it's a
1:05 and 7:15.
Okay, 1:05, 12 o'clock pregame show, 1:05 first pitch, and then so split admission in that one, and then they'll wrap it up on Sunday.
You see who's on the mound tomorrow night? Patrick Sandoval. That's another guy that what are we doing? I know that you need innings eaten until you get to the postseason, so that's why he's there. But come playoff time, especially if it's in this ballpark, that is one of the last men I want to see on the field. Oh, it's big
Tilted?
Slanted in the Yankees' favor. Because they got Fried coming back. You got Schlittler opening up the series. Gray just went in the finale last night, so he misses this series. It's it's slanted in one direction. I'll pull them up here once I get the full schedule in front of me to give you the night by night. But opening night, tomorrow night, Sandoval versus Schlittler. So on one side of that, 1-2 with a 4.54. The other side is the league favorite for Cy Young. Saturday is Bennett versus Rodon. Couple of lefties again. You might favor one over the other. Saturday night is TBD, but again, the Yankee side of that is expected to be Fried coming back, and then Sunday night is Suarez versus Warren.
So we don't get Garrett Cole.
You avoid the Cole train, but it's still slanted.
All right, and I mean, back in the day, I'm just looking at. Got to be careful. Schlittlers. Whoa!
There you go.
I overthought it. Schlittlers.
Didn't have the beat button ready.
Schlittlers numbers 11-6, 2.16 ERA.
We were just saying the other day that's not a swear anymore.
Well, I'm telling you, you watch those news channels. They throw it out there all the time. But I mean, back in the day, that would not be, even with that ERA, that would not be Cy Young stuff.
It's the strikeouts though. He'll probably end the season with between 225 and 250.
And he's the kid from Walpole, is it? Or somewhere.
Walpole lives in Southie, or at least did live in Southie in the off seasons.
Yeah. All right, so we'll see how it shakes out there for the Red Sox against the Yankees. And again, coming off kind of a flat performance last night. Now, I don't think they're going to lose 10 in a row, but this could be a little difficult stretch. I mean, come Monday, we could be talking about 1-4 in their last 5. I'm just saying.
And the Yankees still have another one with Houston tonight, right? So hopefully, like that game gets delayed or something happens or goes
Cole pitching in
16 innings. He must be if there's 4 others going.
By the way, I meant to say you brought up the Lightning, and Rich Kimball, Bob Lucy will be talking to them in the next hour. But it may have been one of the first Maine football in the last 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, where they had the Lightning somewhere. I can't think of where it was, but the game, Matt Cunha was on the board.
Oh yeah, that turned into an 8-hour delay.
Yes,
didn't
it? It just went on all night long. So we'll see what happens there in Towson tonight.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Lightning at the moment. I'm hoping that the sky is clear and we get football underway at 6.
You'll be right here. All right. Yes, Maine football coming up against Towson. Pregame show at 5:30. All right. Anything else you wanted to chat about here, Mark?
No. It's a busy time of the year. Just thankfully, I noticed that doing the Sports Center, the daily Sports Center that we have during ESPN Radio every weekday here, I've been basically reading the Red Sox box score for the last 2 months, trying to fill out 60 seconds. And today I was trying to cut things out of there because I went over. It was like, oh, this is nice.
Sonny Gray, 92 pitches in his outing last night.
Didn't have to make mention of that.
I know it's coming up in the Sports Center. I don't want to steal your thunder here, but the NFL finally doing what they should have done. I don't know, 50 years ago. I mean,
the Pro Bowl
the
out of
Pro
there.
Bowl, like, we're not playing a game. And whenever you would have, because, I mean, they would have, it seemed like 30 guys who couldn't play in the game or didn't want to play in the game, so they had to make somebody else a Pro Bowler, see Mac Jones, and that just went on and on and on, and you know, you would have, now they're going to have 88 Pro Bowlers.
It's just like the all NBA teams. You just put your team out there. It's an honor. You're recognized.
Yep. They'll have a ceremony in LA, but no, and I never bought in. I guess they said the ratings were okay for that, whatever they did last year, the competitions.
I never watched those Pro Bowl skills games or the flag football. Yeah. No, thank you. Especially coming off the high of the Super Bowl in the NFL season. Right. You throw that junk the week after it.
The drive brought to you by Fat Panda Boba Tea and Market on Harlow Street in Bangor. Next to Goslin's Bakery, sip fresh boba, explore snacks, ramen, and their tasty Jamaican patties. We're brought to you by Casella. Good pay, good people, good life. Find your place at powerofhardwork.com. We're also brought to you by Natural Lawn of America. If you want a greener, healthier lawn without the harsh chemicals, Natural Lawn of America is the place to go. Organic-based care and tick ranger protection. Call 721-0600. Or visit naturallawn.com/Bangor-ME. Natural Lawn of America for naturally healthier lawns.
All right, time to continue on with our Ticket Two-A-Days feature here on Maine Sports Leader 92.9 The Ticket. So far this week, between the morning roast and the drive. This morning on the roast, you heard from Dan O'Connell of John Baps on Monday, Sean Gagan from Bucksport Tuesday, Cody Herring from Stearns yesterday, Mark Shields of MDI Football joined them this morning. This afternoon on the drive, we spoke with Kyle Gallane of Herman on Monday, Ryan Snell of Madomic Valley Tuesday, Andrew Levensaler of Dexter yesterday, and now we round out this week number 1 of Ticket Two-A-Days with a first-year head coach this fall, Jack Hersom of the Bangor Rams. Jack, how's it going today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not bad at all. So heading into year number 1, talk to me of what the last couple of months have been like for you, just trying to put all the pieces to the puzzle together for the first time.
Yeah, it's been busy for sure, but you know, being an assistant for the past 14 years and this year being the first year taking over, I was fortunate enough to be under some really good head coaches and just surrounded by a lot of other coaches on staff with some good experience. So that's been really helpful for me.
How has that been from a comfort standpoint, both the kids and both you, just in the situation you find yourself? As you mentioned, first-year head coach, but you've already been on the staff for 14 years, so you've been around this program a minute.
Yeah, I think it's been a pretty smooth transition for me and the kids. Like you said, there is some familiarity with myself kind of returning here. But from that vantage point, it's been pretty smooth, I would say. We are doing a few new things, but a lot of it is just kind of continuing to build off what we've done really the past couple of years. So,
yeah, and certainly recently a few longtime coaches in that position, going back to a guy that I played for at Bangor and Mark Hackett. You're taking over for Dave Morris, who had been there for many years. What are some of the new things that you're trying to incorporate under your regime, your program, Jack?
Yeah, honestly, it's not a ton of new stuff. We do have some wrinkles, definitely on the defensive side of the ball. But there is some carryover from what we've done in the past. You know, some subtle changes to, you know, practice, how we operate. But for the most part, it's just, like I said, trying to build off what we've done really the past few years under Coach Morris.
And I know that was a group last year that many of them graduated because Coach Morris wanted to see that class through that he had all 4 years at Bangor. Talk about the turnover that you're experiencing this year and some of the kids that you'll be hoping take over some of those spots.
Yeah, so that was certainly a big class with a lot of experience. You know, I think we had 20-plus seniors that left, so definitely a lot of new faces on both sides of the ball. But really a credit to our kids have really, you know, we finished out the week of doubles last Friday, and they gave us a solid 10 practices. So that was good to just kind of get some reps under their belt. And then moving forward, we're just trying to continue to build on their experience, obviously through reps. And now we're getting into some live situations with exhibitions, and obviously as we approach week 1. So.
You've got a good cheat code with the coaches that you've learned under that we've been talking about. Also, the fact that your dad, a longtime head coach in his own right at the varsity level here in Maine, has joined your staff for year one. Do you find yourself at all when you're going through practice thinking like, oh, this is the first time X, Y, or Z popped up, or is it all kind of mapped out because of that extensive base of knowledge that you have?
Yeah, I think, certainly having him on staff, along with the other coaches, obviously my dad being there with his experience and kind of his track record, having the success he had has been super helpful. But kind of beyond that, we do have a lot of other guys on staff that, have either, coached high school collegiately, played collegiately. So it's a good mix of guys that we have. And it's certainly, definitely a team approach with us coaches.
Talking with Jack Hersom, head coach of the Bangor Rams here in our Ticket 2-A-Days feature. Before we let you go, Coach, just taking a look at Class A here in the North, 7 squads. How do you forecast the division this fall?
Yeah, I like to stay away from doing that, especially when it comes to us. Probably cliche, but just 1 week at a time. There's some new teams on our schedule this year that we'll have to do a good job of preparing for because we haven't seen some of these teams for at least a few years. So really just kind of trying to do our best to focus on ourselves and really not forecast or predict the rest of the league as much as we can, as hard as that may be for coaches and kids. So that's really what we're trying to accomplish.
All right. Well, Coach, best of luck this upcoming season with the Rams. I'm sure we'll be catching you a time or two on Ticket TV. And once you get out there on the sideline, take it all in. That first game, we are, a week away at this point. That seems crazy to say.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. And I know our kids are too. So we're excited here in Bangor.
All right, that is new Bangor head coach Jack Hersom, longtime assistant there with the Rams, getting his shot as a head coach. And there to support him, his dad, who's had a ton of success at the high school level here in the state of Maine. And coming up, do you know who we have Monday on our 2-A-Days, Mark?
Not yet. I know the roast has made contact with Danny White, so he is appearing at some point next week, but I can't tell you whether that's Monday or not.
All right. But a big week this week. 8 coaches in the books, and we've got
We'll
7, 8 more?
Yeah, we'll take it through like Thursday morning on the roast, through opening
7
day
more.
morning.
All right. There you go. And a great way to head into the regular season again, our Ticket TV opener. Coming up next Thursday, 7 o'clock kickoff, 6:30 pregame show, Old Town against Orono, as they are both now at the 8-man level. And then Friday, we've got Foxcroft Academy and Herman, a couple of local teams who have had a ton of success as of late, and really looking forward to those games coming up next week. And that'll get our fall campaign underway, and we'll finish things up in mid-November. Take a deep breath, and then
right back at it for a busier season.
Yes. Starts early in December, but we're looking forward to the fall first. We're going to take it, as Coach said, we're going to take it one game at a time.
There we go.
One game at a time. And not
start
look
checking
ahead.
them off the calendar.
And not think about how many we're doing.
1 out of 40. Oh, look at that. We're a 20th of the way through the year.
There you go. All right. Again, looking forward to the season coming up on Ticket TV at 929theticket.com and on your Ticket app. The Drive is brought to you by your local family-owned McDonald's on Main Street and Union Street in Bangor and Wilson Street in Brewer. Here's an August incentive. Download and set up the McDonald's app for the first time and get a Big Mac for free with any purchase of $1 or more. Don't forget to put the Big Mac in your cart. We're also brought to you by Tossie's Checkout. Now, this big event, this big Bigfoot event is coming up this weekend. Tossie's Checkout calling all Sasquatch seekers to the 2nd annual Glenburn Sasquatch Calling Contest this Saturday, August 29th from 1 to 5 at 1492 Pushaw Road in Glenburn. You can win a cash prize. You can compete for legendary bragging rights, and it's free to enter. Bring your crew, bring your call, and we'll see you at Tossie's Checkout. Also brought to you by Dean's Detailing, the leader in auto detailing for over 55 years. Renew your vehicle's appearance, protect your auto investment, look good, and feel good in a clean, shiny car. Book your appointment at deansdetailing.com. And coming up on September 1st, did you change this, Mark? It looks
I
like
did.
You did.
Bumped it up by a day.
September 1st, we will announce the 3rd winner in the Red Sox Ticket Sweepstakes. Great summer event here on the Ticket, presented by Dunnett's Appliance and Service. We have another 4-pack to give away for the September 9th game between the Red Sox and Angels at Fenway Park. 4 great tickets, Section 54 Road J. And again, we'll announce the winner on September 1st right here on The Drive. And you can enter the Red Sox ticket sweepstakes whenever you hear the cue to call, like right now. All right, there you have it. Mike Florio with his assessment of this Christian Gonzalez New England Patriots situation. And I brought this up a day or two ago, Mark, where, Witherspoon signs, you expected, as all of these other things happen when there's 2, 3, 4 guys out there, it's like a domino effect. One signs, the next guy signs, et cetera, et cetera. In this case, Witherspoon, signs. We expect Christian Gonzalez. Now, I say that was my thinking. Now, if I really analyze the situation and I say we expected, or I expected that, maybe I didn't because it's the New England Patriots. So maybe I didn't expect it, but if it was going to happen, it seems like that would have been the timeline for it, but
you would
still
think so.
Hasn't happened.
That's how the other 31 franchises tend to conduct their business. Now, Greg Bedard of the Boston Sports Journal, a little closer to the scene, he said that he expects some sort of resolution to happen by early next week. Didn't really say what that was, though, just that Christian Gonzalez will be out there on the field for the Patriots, because imagine how bad of a look it would be if opening up on opening night against the defending Super Bowl champion who took care of their business and signed their cornerback to the largest extension in NFL history, and you were unable to do that if he's MIA on the other sideline, like feathering Christian Gonzalez as a cap at that point. The negotiation swings his way, I think. But Ben Volen on X this afternoon said there are only 2 reasons for Christian Gonzalez not to have a contract: his greed or the Patriots' cheapness. And then he shares a video of Adam Schefter on the Pat McAfee show this afternoon with the caption, "Schefter clearly implies it's the Patriots." So let's take a listen. All right, well, this is a 3.5-minute video, and he's talking about Justin Jefferson now, so I'm going to dump out of it.
Right,
but
we'll dump out of that. Now, I want clarification back to Greg Bedard. Now, he said a resolution. A resolution is far different from an extension, a new contract. So,
well, I can play
do they agree to disagree and say, you're going to play on your, and he might agree. I can't imagine he would.
After
play
all
on
this,
the existing contract.
And if he does, then it's not the full Christian Gonzalez that you're getting out there. You're getting a guy who's going to protect himself.
Right. So Witherspoon is a very good cornerback. Obviously, he got a huge contract there from the best team in football. But Gonzalez is considered and ranked higher than Witherspoon.
Is he? I thought they're kind of on par.
Well, I've heard things, at least from 2 or 3 people, that Gonzalez is better. Yeah. They actually said that.
I mean, ability, certainly, but dependability. You got to be out there to be available. And he's had his troubles so far. Right. He's had 1 full season.
But from a player standpoint, a players association standpoint, an agent standpoint, the contracts for these big players, the big-time players, they don't go down.
No.
And they generally don't stay the same. So 33 annually has to be at least 34, right?
Yeah, I thought it would have been done by now. So I'm, at this point, a little worried that they might start checking out the trade waters or seeing what's out there. If they can, if they're worried about him not signing, how quickly does that shift to trying to maximize value for him?
Right.
It's obviously different from the Jaylen Brown situation, but kind of the same thing where you're not moving forward with a player, so you just try to get the most value out of him in the moment. We better not get to that situation with the Patriots.
Yeah, it just seems silly to me. If he's asking for 34 or even 35, it's like, 34 and a half, whatever. I mean, it's the Patriots can do it. He has a very short career. This probably is his only huge contract.
Yeah.
So you can't fault him for trying to get as much as he can. And when the NFL and these organizations are making billions of dollars. So
and do you really want to set that precedent within your locker room? Like, Mike Vrabel has to be a very nervous person while all this is going on, because taking everything we have since learned off the football field aside, what he has spoken about in that locker room is family first, having each other's back, like putting the team above yourself, all this stuff. The second you show that you are not going to pay guys top dollar, all that goodwill BS goes out the window, because that only works when you're winning 14 games a year and the roster is falling in line and happy.
All right, we shall see what happens here. Greg Bedard saying early next week, before week 1, which
we'll have next week.
That's still too much time. Yeah. That's way too much time, but we'll see. All right, The Drive is brought to you by Premium Choice Broadband. Premium Choice Broadband, local family-owned, bringing affordable high-speed internet to Maine for over a decade. Call or email and mention PCB, the ticket, to get 1 free month for new residential customers. Visit premiumchoicebroadband.com for details. We're also brought to you by Bangor Mall Cinemas, Greater Bangor's favorite hometown theater for over 40 years. Bangor Mall Cinemas features luxury recliners and an upgraded food menu. Find showtimes and reserve your seat at yourneighborhoodtheater.com. All right, coming up next here on The Drive, we're going to check in with the guys, Rich Kimball and Bob Lucy. They are down in Maryland, getting set, preparing for tonight's UMaine football contest against Towson. We got it for you right here on The Ticket. We'll get a little preview from Rich and Bob next. Welcome back into the Greenway Equipment Studios. Jim Churchill and Mark Paulette with you on this Thursday afternoon. We're presented by Next Home Experience, the market leader. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience. Now we go back to the Heroes Hotline. It's been busy today. And joining us on the line, I guess we're not on the Heroes Hotline. We're on the Heroes Comrex line at this point.
Circumventing it in
a
way.
It's a line of sorts. Joining us on the line, guys, will be on the call tonight for UMaine football season opener down there in Maryland against Towson. Rich Kimball and Bob Lucy. And guys, glad you made it there safely. And you're preparing for year number what behind the mic together?
This will be the first broadcast of year 30.
Wow. 30 years. And you still like each other, right?
Not as much, but yeah, no, we still have a good time and managed to get through the year without too many fisticuffs.
There you go. All right. Now, we had Jude Killy on at the beginning of the show, and he's down there obviously with you guys. He was talking about the weather, and the word lightning came up, and it took me back to 2 years ago for the broadcast that would never end, Montana State, and I looked it up, and it said duration 9:06. I'm sure you remember every minute of that.
I don't remember that. I remember the William and Mary game that went on forever. I don't remember any issues at Montana
really?
State, Bob.
Well, why did it say 9:06?
I don't know.
All right, so William and Mary was the lightning game then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Last year.
And that went on forever.
Yes.
That went on forever because we had a lightning delay before we started, and then I think we had a kickoff and one play, and then had another lightning delay. Now, we've already had a lightning delay here, but right now, teams are on the field. Well, yeah, both teams are out there now, have finally come out on the field, and at this point, we're still scheduled to kick it off just after 6 o'clock, but the forecast is not encouraging. We're under a severe thunderstorm watch up until about 10 o'clock tonight, and we've already been supplied by the folks here at Towson with game suspension protocols just in case.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
that's
boy.
fun to hear.
Mark's on the board tonight, so good luck, Mark. I remember it was Matt Cunha on the board in that other lightning game. Now, this is interesting. I knew there was a game like that, and I looked it up, and yeah, Maine, Bozeman, Maine at Montana State, Bozeman, Montana, 9:06 they're calling it for the duration. But anyway, but then it says weather, sunny, temperature 85. So anyway, I got off on the wrong tangent there. Let's talk about these two teams. One picked 6 in the preseason poll. That would be Towson. They were 6-6 last year. The other would be the Maine Black Bears, number 7 in the preseason poll. They were also 6-6 last year. By all accounts, on paper, this should be a tight one tonight.
Yeah, I think it on paper is that way. I think for Maine to be successful tonight, they've got to be able to get their ground game going. And they need to make sure they control time of possession. In addition to that, they've got to be able defensively to stop the run and pressure the passer. They've got an outstanding quarterback who did a nice job last year. 16 touchdown throws, only 4 interceptions. He threw for 2,344 yards. So Maine's aware of him. And I think what they want to do tonight is control clock, get the ground game going, and then mix in that passing game with Eddie Buehler.
Yeah, tell us about Eddie Buehler, Bob, because he's the unknown in this situation, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's a top-notch athlete. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's 6'3", 223 pounds. He's a redshirt sophomore. And, you know, he had a lot of success in high school. He was from Rhode Island. He led his team to a state title 2022. He was first-team All-State. And he was also given the Offensive Back of the Year. So I think he's going to do a great job. I know he's been anxious to get on the field, and a lot of positives with him.
And he knows the system well. This is his 3rd year in the UMaine program.
Yes, indeed. All right, guys, we know you've got to get ready for a pregame show that's coming up right around the corner, so we'll let you get to that, but we appreciate you taking a few moments for us here in the drive and previewing this matchup tonight. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you, and I know the ticket's pretty powerful. If you guys can influence the weather at all, steer things away from here as much as you can.
Yes. Oh, believe me, Rich, I'm trying. I'm trying my best right now.
Mark, I'll leave that to Mark. All right, have a good call, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Rich, Kimball, Bob Lucy right there, and they are coming right up here on these ticket airwaves. Mark, I want to show you what I looked at. And again, I said
C906.
Right, and when we were talking about it before, I said south, which William & Mary obviously was in the south. But then I got distracted. I started looking up games, and I see 906.
You get some big old thunderstorms, big old crack-a-chows down there in the Virginia area.
All right, we will hope that that is not the case tonight down there in Towson.
Buzzer Beaters is brought to you by Novus Auto. Give Novus a call at 945-6688 to get your windshield repaired or replaced.
All right, thanks again to Rich and Bob for joining us as they prepare for the pregame show. Also, thanks to Jude Killy, who's also down there in Maryland to be on the scene, root on the Black Bears as the UMaine Athletic Director. Thanks again to Jack Hersom, part of our Ticket Two-A-Days here on the Ticket, bringing in the high school football coaches as we lead up to the season opener on Ticket TV a week from tonight.
Always like to shout out the smallest towns we hear from, so shout out to Sorrento, Maine, and all of your 280 approximately inhabitants after one of them called in, Derek, to get in on that Red Sox competition.
All right, good luck to Derek in the Red Sox ticket sweepstakes, again presented by Dunnett's Appliance and Service on Washington Street in Bangor. We appreciate their support. It's been a lot of fun, and they got a big Labor Day sale coming up there at Dunnett's Appliance and Service, so you want to check that out. I was in the store the other day, a great selection of appliances for you here in the greater Bangor area. All right, UMaine football pregame show at 5:30. They'll kick it off right around 6 p.m. We'll see if the Black Bears can get off to a 1-0 start. That would be a great thing as the Black Bears, and this is a conference game too. It's not just the season opener. It is a conference game. I think it's the first one in about 4 or 5 years for the Black Bears starting the season with a conference foe. We'll see if the Black Bears can bring home a W. Red Sox back at it tomorrow night. We'll be back with you on Monday here on The Drive.